Out of all the princess in LP, the one that kinda got the short end of the stick is unfortunately is the prettiest of them all, that being Cadence. That's right, I love her design, Sumi. I and so many others wanted to know her story. Well, we're in luck because, finally, years after NLP ended, they gave us that story in a comic called The Rise of Cadence. Let's take a look at it together, shall we? Get your kid ass out of here. Yep, that's right, G4. It's party time again. Why? Because we got 600 subscriber. Wow, I can't thank you guys enough for that. I'm really growing pretty fast, and it always amazes me just how quickly. It feels like I just hit 500 a month ago. Oh, right, I did. It's only been a month, and I already have to do a subscriber special. Again, huh? Yes, might as well get to it then, shall we? Hello, I'm Discord Jedi Knight, interdimension chaos neutral being brought to the light side, and welcome aboard my ship. That's G4, my droid. Today, for 600 subscribers, I decided all week long I want to take a little look at some MLB comic books I've been dying to check out. When I started the channel, I began reading a few of them, but due to the progression of the channel, I had to streamline it and focus on topics that were more popular. Thus, I had to put off my comic book reading. But with 600 subscribers, I figured why not dive into some that I really wanted to get to and never had a chance to. The comics are filled with some great moments, like Rarity turning into Nightmare Moon or Chrysalis trying to get Twilight to join her side. Those are just some examples of videos I have already done, but I really wanted to get into stories like Sombre's backstory, or how Celestia fell in love with a good Sombra from another universe, or how Discord, one of my favorite characters, can't you tell, had a crazy ex-girlfriend who tried to kill Fluttershy and take over the world, forcing him to be her husband. Oh, right. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. All week long, I'll be reviewing one of the comics, so look forward to it. But I figured we might as well start with what is hands down the biggest news in an LP since Twilight became a princess, Cadence's official backstory. Yeah, all right, I admit it. I have never been that big of a fan of the color pink. In fact, I still argue it's one of my least favorite colors to this day. But I can't deny that after I got used to MLP and its burning bright colors, see, mine? Why I wanted to hate My Little Pony. Video for context, once I got used to the aesthetic of My Little Pony, I found that I didn't mind the color that much. Besides, she's so much more than pink. I think out of all MLP characters, she is my favorite design, all except for Fluttershy Luna, and of course Discord. Yeah? I guess it goes without saying, doesn't it? Anyway, from the moment she was introduced back in the finale of Season 2, I liked her. She was okay. No, I didn't love her, but I didn't hate her either. I liked her design, and that's where the story ends for me. I enjoy the romantic aspects of the story where she is trapped by Chrysalis and is trying to stop the wedding before her beloved marries the wrong woman. But to be honest with you, that was, for me, the end of it. Now, I'm not saying she didn't have good moments in the show, she does. I really appreciate how, thanks to her, Twilight learns to breathe and calm down. Think things through before freaking out. It shows great growth for Twilight and adds a very mature nature to Cadence. But other than just being there, using both her and her home, the Crystal Empire, as a plot device, there really was never a moment for her, her husband, or even her baby to stand up. And that's the problem with shows that have 1,000 characters. There's only so much screen time you can give them and develop them. Most of that needs to be reserved for the main cast. Honestly, out of all the MLP characters, I truly think it is a miss not to give Twilight's family, Cadence included, a more substantial role in the series. Truth be told, I actually find the way she handles and interacts with Twilight more motherly or big sisterly than Celestia, providing, in my opinion, better lessons that Twilight needs to grow as a person than Celestia ever did. I mean, come on. The most Celestia ever does is throw Twilight into a pit of villains while she sits back and waits for the day to be saved. I can't help it. I can't stand how useless she is. Yes, I did a video on that. I'll shut up about it. Oh, every chance I get. But anyway, back to the topic. When I originally did my character ranking, she was C-tier. I'm not even kidding, and it's simply for the reason that she doesn't have much to go off of. We never actually get to know her story. So it was so brilliant to give her that finally. At least she is not her one-dimensional husband. Maybe give him a story next, and make him worthy of the name Shining Armor would be nice is all I'm saying. But it's funny because I remember thinking about it and coming up with my own theories and storylines for my own fanfics. One idea I had munching around in my brain was that she was indeed the actual princess of the Crystal Kingdom and was actually the daughter of Sandra before he married Celestia. Again, it was headcanon. Bullshit for a fan discount that I actually ended up never writing because I didn't like the details. Her story isn't far off from what I thought. She's a cute little Pegasus. Oh, and I guess that's another detail to note. It was long theorized and partially canon that she was a Pegasus who became an Alicorn. Well, that is now officially confirmed. As a baby Pegasus, she was found by a group of Earth ponies who raised her and gave her the worst name of the show. Sorry, but I don't like her full name. I think it's way too fancy. And I really like the fact that she often chooses to go by Cadence, much easier to say. But she was named after that because when they first saw her, she danced the cadenza in the sky. She grew up feeling the love of those around her until one day she noticed they all weren't acting right. Turns out a pony villain named insert villain name here has the power to drain love. Okay, what is it with MLP and draining power all the time? Well, when the villain tries to drain her, she stands up, and thanks to the love within her heart given to her by her family of Earth ponies, she easily defeats the evil unicorn. And thanks to something she couldn't understand when she looked at her, she could tell that the villain was in fact saddened and felt like an outsider who got no love, so she decided to take it by force. And then Sun comes in and ruins the comic. Okay, I'm kidding. But Yasi, Lestia comes in, about to punish her for her wrongdoings, and it's actually Cadence who's chosen and decides to show compassion and give the pony another chance, which she takes and is quickly reformed. That's right, Cadence reformed someone. And it was Celestia who wanted to harshly punish them. Granted, the punishment they were going to get was indeed deserved, but seriously, somehow Celestia is with a so-called wise, compassionate ruler. I love that more I dive into MLP, the more she looks bad, and I just keep finding reasons as to why she is. Hey, it's just facts. And truth be told, what if this is true? What if she was never the warm, nice leader we thought, and that war hardened her heart and lessened her compassion? If that were the case, it would explain why she was such hurt to her sister, causing her to turn into Nightmare Moon. When she fought her, she showed no emotion towards her at all, despite originally hating it and calling it a flaw. Perhaps I was wrong. The truth is she only became friendly and soft after Cadance and Twilight. If that's true, it would actually add some character growth to her that I could get behind. Gee, I think that's another video topic I'll have to do at some point. But back to the main topic at hand. Oh, no, she would never let Discord out if she didn't realize that if he got out again, the kingdom was doomed. Even so, she knew she couldn't reform him because she doesn't have the heart and compassion for it. But new Fluttershy did. However, I do think the reason why Sunbud got the idea to do this was most likely thanks to this experience with Cadance. And I really like that Cadance had the heart to not only forgive but give a second chance. After she does, she earns her butt tattoo. No, never letting that joke go. Afterwards, Celestia decides Cadance should leave in Canterlot because she knows of her destiny. While there, though, Cadance is trained as a unicorn despite being a Pegasus. It's strange to her, but at least she has fun flying with the royal guards. However, her favorite thing to do is hang out with the little ones and even thinks, hey, maybe I should be a preschool teacher. Watch out, Charlie. I think I'd prefer teacher Cadance. Anyway, one night she is woken up by a guard due to a dragon's attack. I like that she bravely tried to fight a few off, but isn't able to defeat them all. So Celestia tells her to take care of the little kids, which she does until a dragon stops them and confronts them. Turns out the dragon is out for revenge. Why? It's not specifically stated, but Cadance can feel in her heart that something happened to her young, and so she was going after the young ponies. Yeah, Her kids were literally killed by unicorns, and once again, how is Celestia a good guy if she's allowing innocent dragon children to be killed under her watch? How do we know it wasn't her order to kill those kids? What? I'm just thinking. Okay, I'm always going to get some hate for my theories on Celestia. But anyway, Cadence understands and acknowledges the dragon's loss. And because of that, the dragon stands down and chooses to do the right thing. I also love how right after she chooses this, Celestia flies in ready for battle, and the battle is already over before she even got there. I'm telling you, she's a battle-hungry evil dictator who's pointless and useless. That's why she sends Twilight to do the job, because I don't think she can do anything right. Yeah, this is supposed to be about Cadence. I'm just having fun at Celestia's expense for jokes. Feel free to roast me in the comments if you want. Yeah, she thanks to her appreciation and show of love, kindness, and caring is made in Alicorn. And Celestia tells her she is a descendant of Princess Amber, descendant Ray herself. The ancient leader of the Crystal Empire. We'll get more on her story in a little bit. I do plan to read that somewhere comic, and I think she's in that. At the end of the comic, though Cadence misses hanging with the kids, so Celestia has her watch her most recent student, Twilight, ending the comic. Anyway, what do I give it? Well, it's a flat-out 9. I love the story. Yeah, actually, you're right. G4, the art is beautifully done. Look, an LP comic art. I'm not going to lie, range from splendid to what even is that. It looks so weird. I'm happy to say that in this one, the art is fantastic. And I really love the fact that I got to read this comic. All right, now it's your turn down in the comments below. I want to know your thoughts on the rise of Cadance. Did you like it as much as I did? What other theories of her origin did you have before this comic? Let me know in the comments below. And with that said, always remember, my friends, friendship and love are magic.